He's not the smartest hero in the DC universe, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, he can't fly, he doesn't have heat vision, x-ray vision, or cold breath, and he can't reprogram a satellite by sticking his finger in a USB port. That's what Cyborg does, right? But he's good at making observations, he's clever, insightful, and has a highly analytical mind that works even better in moments of great stress or alien invasions. More important than all of that, he's got a crap ton of money to keep the best marketing team and Hollywood agents on retainer to guarantee that he is the most important, most adored character in the DC universe. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and these are the 10 best Batman action figures. As always, with our lists, Hot Toys are not included because we can all agree that they would take every single spot in the list. Someday we'll do a 10 best Hot Toys Batman figures video, but today is not that day. Number 10, 1989's Toybiz Batman. Released in conjunction with the Tim Burton Batman movie the same year, Toybiz Batman picks up right where Kenner's Superpowers line left off 3 years earlier. This figure doesn't have the kind of articulation, detailing, or accessories that collectors look for in today's market, but he's got retro charm, a snap-on cloth cape, a belt-mounted retractable bat robe, and for 1989, an absolutely stunning likeness of Michael Keaton. Number 9 is 1973's Mego Batman. Hitting shelves the same year as Hanna-Barbera's beloved Super Friends cartoon. I don't actually know if it was Hanna-Barbera. Mego Batman sported all the charm of the best homemade Halloween costumes that ever cosplayed. From his shiny blue galoshes to Alfred's favorite oven mitts, the historical importance of this figure far exceeds its humble homeliness. Along with Superman, Robin, and Aquaman, he was one of the first 4 characters introduced in Mego's World's Greatest Superheroes line and was produced every year until that line ended. Number 8 is 1992's Kenner Combat Belt Batman. Batman doesn't go long between reboots. As soon as one project ends, his people are already working on the next. In 1992, Batman was so hot that he was working on a movie and an animated series at the same time. Batman the Animated Series brought some of the pulpiest, noiriest Batman stories ever told to the small screen and launched the line that would influence the direction of DC Comics and cartoon-related action figures for the next 20 years. Number 7 is 2015's NECA 1966 Batman. It looks, smells, and feels like Adam West, probably, and comes complete with a second set of bat hands, a batarang, and a bat radio. While it isn't the most durable or most posable action figure on the planet, NECA's 1966 Batman is a remarkably lifelike piece of articulated sculpture. Minutes become hours as you find yourself lost in his mysterious eyes, struck by this amazing tribute to the classic television show NECA was able to produce. Number 6 is 2014's NECA 1989 Batman. NECA was able to recreate Michael Keaton in 1/12 scale to the delight of 80s and 90s era Bat fans. Like the NECA Adam West Batman figure, this Batman is not the most posable or most durable figure on the market. But it is a welcome piece of fan service, a repayment for missed opportunities as the technology and collector market of the early 90s just didn't allow for this type of figure to be produced. Number 5 is 1984's Kenner Superpowers Batman. Just like the real Batman, if you squeeze his legs together, you're going to get punched a few times. Wearing his classic light blue and gray batsuit, this is a brighter but no less frowny version of Batman, a holdover from his days with the Super Friends when the Batmobile had lost a wheel and the Joker got away. This is a Batman before The Dark Knight, before Frank Miller, before The Killing Joke, before the 90s, when you could be happy and still be a superhero. Number 4 is 2015's Mezco Toys Dark Knight Batman. You pick the color. Speaking of the dark times, in 2015, Mezco produced 6-inch versions of both of Batman's costumes from Frank Miller's milestone work, The Dark Knight Returns. While I'm not a huge fan of figures at this scale with cloth outfits, I cannot deny the quality of the details that Mezco put into these figures. From the sculpting of his gritted teeth to the inclusion of every accessory a fan could want, including multiple handsets, a stand, 2 different heads, and a device that allows you to pose his cape, all 3 versions of Batman establish themselves as the best versions of Miller's characters in this scale. But they are sold out, so sorry about that. Number 3 is 2008's Mattel DC Universe Classics Crime Stopper Batman. DC Universe Classics began in 2008 and ran through 2013 and was a success by every measure. And of course, who was there at the beginning to kick the whole thing off in Wave 1? Was it Superman? Was it Aquaman? Was it Orion? Yeah, Orion was in there, but the important part was that Batman was in there. Batman sells the line, Orion is there for the fans, made possible by the guaranteed sales of Batman. Based on his DC Comics classic style guide art and the work of Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Crime Stopper Batman was featured in Wave 1, but the Batman mold would find his way into several more waves, several more exclusives, 2-packs, and box sets over the course of the 6 years the line lasted. Battle Damage, Superpowers inspired, Michael Keaton inspired, they're pretty much all the same, so any one of them could hold this spot as one of the best modern articulated Batman figures still available at reasonable prices. Number 2 is 2007's Mattel DC Superheroes Batman. This is probably the best Batman figure that has ever been made, and I know that's a weird thing to say considering that it's slotted in at the number 2 spot. It's a more realistic approach to the Batsuit, drawing heavily on the look and feel of the suit from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, which is the model for the grim and gritty real Batman style. Black cape and cowl, tan utility belt, a bat symbol without a yellow oval. So why isn't he number 1? Price and availability. He was produced at the end of the DC Superheroes line and suffered from poor distribution as the line stumbled to a close. Loose or carded figures, when they turn up on the secondary market, can go upwards of $100 to $150 fast. And that is a huge turnoff for a single 6-inch figure, even if it could be the best Batman ever made. And at number 1 is 2016's DC Collectibles Icons Batman. Look, I don't love the Icons line. To date, I have acquired Batman, Superman, and The Flash, even though another, 10 figures have been produced? They all have the same articulation that looks great, but ends up not being any more posable than the DC Universe classics before them, less so actually because they lack a proper thigh swivel. They're undersized when compared to the previous DC Universe classics, Marvel Legends, or Star Wars Black Series, or any other domestically produced 6-inch scale figures. However, they do come with some cool accessories like additional hands and, in Batman's case, a grapnel gun and a batarang, and the paint application and mix of matte and gloss finishes are a very nice touch. And I really appreciate that DC Collectibles made the choice to go with the blue and gray suit over the black and gray. But above all those pros and cons, among the Batman figures that are available right now, there is no better figure that meets the needs of modern collectors for a comic book accurate Batman in terms of accessories, scale, paint, sculpt, articulation, and likeness, and has a full complement of Justice Leaguers to pair him with than this DC Icons figures. And you can still pick him up for around 20 bucks. Those are the 10 best Batman figures, a list we were required to produce to satisfy a federal statute that requires the production of comparable Batman content following the production of any Superman-related content. We're patriotic Americans just trying to do our duty to the fan community. Make sure you check out our 10 best Superman figures video as well. Thanks for watching. Please give this video a like. Imagine me doing this. Oh, when you hit that button if it helps. Please subscribe, share this with your friends, and get them to subscribe. Let us know in the comments below if we got it right or if we overlooked a few pieces. I'm sure someone is already typing out a question asking if I've ever heard of the Arkham series of video games. Let me go ahead and answer that one real quick. I have, but I've never played them, and I don't like that suit, and Superman is better than Batman.
Cut.